Valve just updated Nintendo's lead and updated the Steam Deck with a new OLED screen. It's not simply just an OLED screen, it also has a higher refresh rate and the whole thing's just more energy efficient, so you're also gonna get more battery life and slightly better performance. Here's the box it comes in, sort of the same way my original Steam Deck arrived a year ago. Cardboard box opens and inside there's a charger on the left and then a similar carrying case that now includes the Steam Deck OLED. I went with the 512GB model, which costs $550. You can also get the 1TB model for $650. The Steam logo now has a red dot instead of black. The dual zippers on the case are now white instead of black. The case is about the same size as the original one. These are quite bulky cases, but they do protect what's inside really well, and that's the Steam Deck OLED. First impressions, I mean, it looks just like another Steam Deck. The screen is only slightly bigger, about 0.4 inches, so you don't really notice a difference when the unit is powered off. But once you do turn on the screen and place it side by side with the original Steam Deck, that brighter, more vibrant screen is just more apparent. Looks like some games also support HDR with this, so yeah, it looks a lot better. Another way to tell the difference here is this red power button and the green power light that you get on the OLED model. The unit is also slightly lighter, about 30 grams less than the OG model. The menu screen here isn't doing it justice. Once you do actually start playing, every single game just looks a lot better on the OLED Steam Deck. The brighter games are a lot brighter and vibrant. Games that support HDR like The Last of Us Part 1, they just look a lot better. Even games that are dark, those look much better as well. You can actually see the details at night in Hogwarts Legacy. The new screen also has a 90Hz refresh rate, and yes, some games do run more than 60 FPS on the Steam Deck. I have Sifu here, for example, easily going over 60 FPS in ultra settings. In fact, it locks to 90 in certain areas. Even Redfall right here does go above 60 FPS, which is pretty impressive. Now the screen itself is still the same resolution, 800p. Now when benchmarking the OLED Steam Deck versus the original, that does show a slight performance edge for the new OLED model. I mean, the difference is only a couple of frames, but there's certainly an advantage with that new hardware. Here's the Steam Deck OLED compared to the Rogue Ally. The Rogue Ally still has an edge. It's just more powerful than the Steam Deck OLED, but I personally prefer the Steam Deck's more stable operating system. It just feels a lot more like a console. The OLED Steam Deck does have more efficient hardware, which does lead to better battery life as well, and for me, that's actually the biggest advantage here. The games that are super demanding like Spider-Man, they only lasted about an hour and 20 minutes on that original console. I mean, an hour and 20 minutes, that's not a lot. These are really the games that push the Steam Deck close to 100% from the GPU. And now with the OLED model, that battery life increases by about an hour. Spider-Man and other games that push the hardware to its limits will get you a respectable 2.5 hours. That battery life advantage is likely even more substantial for those that play a lot of less demanding 2D games on their Steam Deck. Another notable improvement with the new hardware is you have now Wi-Fi 6E support. So downloading games is a bit quicker. I mean, hands down, the new OLED model is the one to get if you don't yet own a Steam Deck. At this point, I wouldn't even consider buying a brand new original model. However, if you're like me and spent hundreds of dollars on the original one a year ago, it's a hard decision. If you can perhaps sell your current one for a few $100s and then maybe use that towards upgrading to the OLED, that'll cut down your costs. But for me, the difference I see here, I mean, it's good, but it's not enough for me to go out and spend another $600 on a Steam Deck OLED. I mean, I already bought one and I'm kind of saying that now, but I might actually return it. The overall experience, I'm gonna say it's about 80 to 90% the same on both units. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Do you think the Steam Deck OLED is worth it, or are you just waiting for the Steam Deck 2 at this point?